So y'all know that I try to, at my best, answer as many questions as possible for you all. Um, this morning, got a really good question from someone, and that question basically touched on, when I post things, why do guys respond in a negative way? And that's a really good question. Um, and my answer to that is, you got to think about it like this: if you're out hunting for something, and this isn't all guys because there are some good guys out there, but if you're out hunting for something, and somebody is basically giving the prey, some kind of uh, way out of being hunted, you're probably going to feel some type of way about it. And so that's the same thing that goes on with men. It's like you're giving the keys away, or you're giving these women some type of answer, so it makes it harder on them. And this is some guys. This isn't all guys. So this is how we'll respond to those to that. You have to understand that women come when they come into dating, when they come into to real, hardcore dating, they're at a disadvantage because guys have been planning and scheming and just doing manipulating. We have to be honest about these things. We've been doing these things since like when we learned that we like girls. So we've been doing these things for so long. And then, when we get into our 20s, now the women are like, all right, they've been like serious about school all this time and preparing for the world and, just really having their things together while we're like, how do I get the girl? And so by the time they really get into dating, like, all right, I'm going to put all this stuff to the side now. Now it's my priority to really establish myself in the relationship world, especially when women are coming up on 30. Then that's when the red light is coming on. And ladies, I would say, disregard the red light. I mean, don't let the red light put you in desperate mode because there is no scent stronger for a man to pick up than desperation. So just disregard that red light, especially if it's going to put you in a position where you feel desperate. Okay, you don't have any need to feel desperate. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. So by this time, these guys know the game. Like they know how exactly to catch the prey. And like I said in my last video, the problem with a lot of men is that they were never taught how to keep the woman. They were never taught how to love the woman. They were never taught how to give intimacy. They were never taught how to be vulnerable. What they were taught was how to get the woman, how to catch the prey. So by the time they get into a real relationship, now it's like, uh-oh, what do I do? Where do I go? That is the problem with so many men. But there's a deeper issue to this. The reason why men are like that is because they can be. One of the privileges, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, but one of the privileges of being a man is that we really don't have to know a whole lot about relationships. And if you don't believe me, just go to your local bookstore and look in the relationship section. Who are all these books aimed towards, right? They're all aimed towards women because it's the woman who's trying to figure out, how do I get this thing to work with these guys? And the guys are just completely oblivious. They don't have to know anything because our standards for men are so low in order to stay with them. If you'll stay with a man, despite the fact that he's completely oblivious about how to love you, then what is the point for him, or why would he put in the energy to learn how to love you? He doesn't have to. It's like why am I going to go to work if I'm getting $4,000 and $5,000 checks in the mail for free? So you have to give these men, or you got to have the standard set for yourself. If you don't know how to do these things, you can't be with me. And if a man really, really wants to be with you, he will make sure that he learns whatever it is, or that he gets to know, or that he develops in a way where he can be with you. It's the same thing that happened to me when I got into the relationship that I'm in now. There were certain things that even I didn't have in place, and there were certain standards that my lady had. She didn't say, "Oh, you have to do this to be with me." She just basically put it out there. These are my standards. Anybody who wants to be with me has to fit this standard. And so I had to take it upon myself to say, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this to get up there. And once I was there, then that's when I was able to be in there. And ladies, one more thing. not only do you establish these standards so that he makes it in that circle, but you have to hold those standards, right? So that, once he starts getting complacent, which we all do, everybody gets complacent. Once he starts getting complacent, he doesn't start testing those barriers, testing those boundaries and standards. Because now if he finds out that he can go back to who he was before you were together, then he's going to go back there because that's his comfort zone. And if you don't hold firm on your standards, he will become that person. You will become distraught with your relationship. And the unfortunate thing about it is now that your heart is in it, now that you're invested in it, you're going to be less likely to let him go. And then it's just all going to go downhill from there. So what I would say is, ladies, make sure that you know your standards. Write them down. Make sure that you understand what your standards are. And then make sure that you keep them throughout your relationship. You can't change a man. You cannot change a man. But by holding true to your standards, you can inspire him to be the type of man that you know that he has the potential to be. And if he doesn't have that potential, you need to stay away from him. I don't care what he look like. I don't care how good he is in bed. I don't care how much money he has. If he doesn't at least show the potential and he's not putting the action behind it, then you need to run. You need to get away. Okay? So that is the issue with men. The issue with men is a complete ignorance when it comes to relationship. And the issue with women is that they allow it. All right? So that's all I got for you for today. I hope you got something out of it. I will see you all soon. Oh, by the way, make sure that you get the copies of my book, The One, Wear Yes on Your Heart, and Why They Cheat and How They Get Away with It. Talking about men and women. All right, till next time. Hotep.